Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Tuesday, October 18th. Warm and dry weather continues. We're looking at a pattern change with confidence increasing for the weekend. So what that means is colder temperatures, widespread precipitation chances, and an increase in winds. Let me break that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today: above normal temperatures and dry conditions continue through Thursday. So we're looking at temperatures anywhere from 10 to almost 20 degrees above normal for mid-October. Set a new record high yesterday at Stanley of 73 degrees, and that broke the previous record of 71 set back in 1997. We'll have light winds and poor vertical mixing over the next couple of days, so might see a little bit extra haze and surface pollutants out there. Something to keep in mind for those sensitive groups. Taking a look at the forecast and record high potential over the next few days, best chances will be up towards Rexburg and Stanley over the next few days. We're approaching that up towards Idaho Falls and Chalice, and we should remain in the clear for both Pocatello and Burley. So winds will remain quiet through Wednesday and increasing for Thursday and especially on Friday ahead of our system moving in for the weekend. So we are going to have a pattern change. So we've been warm and dry for the pretty long time. We're going to see that breaking down for the weekend with a chance for, our next system moving in overnight Friday, continuing into the weekend. And the next system, as far as rapidly approaching as far as early next week. So a fairly active weather pattern as we get into the later part of October. And confidence continues to increase around the week. This week's event for a significant pattern change, we're going to be looking at much colder temperatures. Highs in the 30s and 40s are possible for your Sunday afternoon. Widespread precipitation chances, both rain and snow, generally in the higher elevations for your snow chances. And that'll be this weekend into next week as well, with some breezy weekend wind gusts, again continuing both Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looking at breezy winds, generally up to about 25 to 45 miles an hour. Early look at the satellite this morning, not showing anything, just a few upper-level clouds associated with an area of low pressure off the California coast. Won't see any impacts here in Idaho, with skies staying mostly clear and abundant sunshine with highs in the 70s. Weather risk outlook for your next 5 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, much of the same, keeping with the above normal temperatures trend. Winds aren't looking as breezy for Thursday, but especially on Friday as that system gets a little bit closer. Going to see the breezy wind potential with a chance again for some late in the afternoon, maybe early evening, mountain rain and snow showers. But outside of that, main impacts are going to be on Saturday. We're looking at widespread precipitation moving into the region as low elevation rain and mountain snow with much colder temperatures behind a cold front that'll be passing through the region, leading to some continued breezy conditions through the weekend. Here's a courtesy graphic of the National Weather Service up in Great Falls, and this kind of shows exactly the weather pattern that we have. So we got this blocking area of high pressure currently situated over the western United States, and there is a very strong storm currently moving onshore into the Alaska, Aleutian Island area, through southern Alaska as well, through the next couple of days. And what that means is that'll be able to get on top of this ridge, provide some additional weight to knock it down, and by the time this eastern Asian jet is able to force some moisture into our area, we will be seeing a pattern change with much colder weather. So we're going to have that pattern change with colder weather, increasing chances for precipitation, and as far as some breezy winds, especially as that system kind of works into our area. High temperatures this afternoon, everyone will be in the 70s, generally about low to mid 70s, approaching 80 degrees as you get out towards the Magic Valley. High temperatures on Wednesday, rinse and repeat, not a cloud in the sky outside of some maybe partly cloudy skies over the mountains, but outside of that, temperatures again back in the low to mid 70s, approaching 80 this time as you get further into the western Magic Valley. And for Thursday, starting to see that cooling trend up further north, so temperatures cool by about 2 to 4 degrees in some locations. We're back into the mid-60s now to mid-70s as you get down towards the lower Snake Plain and Magic Valley. Wind gusts on Thursday shouldn't be anything too anticlimactic. We saw wind gusts today, fairly light, but they will see a slight uptick on Thursday ahead of some short waves that'll be kind of working down as this upper level ridge of high pressure breaks down, generally up to about 30 miles an hour for your Thursday. High temperatures on Friday, so again, keeping with that cooling trend, we're going to keep losing a degree or two. In case up towards Island Park, going to lose about 3 to 6 degrees as we get towards Friday. So afternoon highs return to the upper 50s to near 70 degrees further south. So start to see that cooling trend with much noticeably cooler temperatures working in for the weekend. Wind gusts on Friday. So we saw the slight chance of some breezy winds again on Thursday up to about 30 miles an hour. But as we get towards Friday, we're looking at widespread wind gusts anywhere from 25 to 40 miles an hour. Not looking at a whole lot of precip for Friday, as the current timing of this system is going to be mostly on Saturday, but could see a stray mountain shower working in late in the day with better chances working in for your Saturday. Take a look at those weekend high temperatures. See that cooling trend for Saturday? Back into the upper 40s to upper 50s. So much colder air approaching near normal for Saturday. So normal highs for this time of year are going to be right around that mid 50s range for mid to late October. But as we get towards Sunday, we will actually fall below normal, returning to the upper 30s to near 45 degrees. So this is cooler over even yesterday's forecast. We're starting to see some agreement on much colder temperatures and some chances for widespread precipitation, especially on Saturday for eastern Idaho. Weekend wind gusts. So for your Saturday afternoon, especially during the morning through the day, we're going to have a cold front working through, so that will promote some strong southwest westerly winds across much of the Snake Plain and southern higher elevation zones, generally up to about 25 to 45 miles an hour, with some locally higher gusts further south down towards the Utah border. For Sunday, winds are going to drop off a little bit, but still staying slightly breezy in that 20 to 30 mile an hour range as precipitations shift out of the mountains into our mountain areas outside of the valleys. So we'll see the precipitation transitioning into the higher terrain for Sunday outside of the Snake Plain. Take a look at the probability of just a tenth of an inch or more. So looking at a very good 70 to 95% chance of seeing a tenth or more across the entire forecast area. As we get up to a half an inch or more, so starting to see those totals decrease, especially out towards the Du Bois, Arco, INL area. Given a northwest flow regime, lots of this will be shadowed from the mountain terrain, so places like Chalice, Salmon, and areas that aren't going to do very well in northwest flow don't stand the best chance at seeing those higher totals, but you can see especially up towards the Sawtooths, Greater Yellowstone region, and Bear River range, probability is still approaching about 80% for the higher terrain for a half inch or more this weekend. And an inch or more. So this is pretty much going to be targeting those favored northwest upslope locations in the mountains. So we got the Sawtooth, Centennials, Greater Yellowstone area, continuing down further east along the Caribou Range and Bear River Range. So certainly the probability is there for an inch or more, and translated to snow in the high country, could be talking about some impressive snowfall amounts. We'll be getting to later in this over. As we get towards snowfall, this is the 48-hour snowfall probability for an inch or more. So in the Snake Plain, looks like most of that precip's going to be falling on Saturday when we have some warmer air in place. So not looking great for precip reaching the Snake Plain as snow. But if we do, could see some flurries and light snowfall accumulations Sunday morning when those colder temperatures set up. In the mountains, looking like a slam dunk for at least an inch or more as you get up into the Central Mountains, Teton Valley, Eastern Highlands, and along the Idaho, Wyoming, and Eastern Idaho, Utah borders. As we go up to 4 inches or more, we're continuing to see that risk, especially further north and east. So going to be confined up in the Central Mountains, generally out towards the Sawtooths, Pioneers area, and as we get towards the Greater Yellowstone area through the Tetons, Caribou Range, Big Holes, and up towards the Centennials. 8 inches or more, looking like the best chance will be coinciding with that precip and colder temperatures will be further north. So we're going to have best chances for the Sawtooths and Greater Yellowstone area for that potential of 8 inches or more this weekend. Here's an experimental graphic so as far as next week. So this is looking at October 25th through the 31st from the WPC. This is just an experimental product looking at the risk of heavy snow. So with a continued active weather pattern continuing into next week beyond this storm, could see that potential for a slight risk for some heavy snow impacts, continuing with much colder air in place. That'll be conducive for some widespread snow with any precipitation that we get moving in. Take a look at the 7-day QPF forecast. You can see a big pattern change across the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain West with some high precip totals, especially up in northern Idaho, approaching almost 2 to 3 inches in some locations through the 7 days. 6 to 10-day temperature outlook keeps things below normal, so we got a bullseye right over our area for below normal temperatures to round out through October 27th. And precip looking great again, so keeping with that cooler and wetter pattern as we get into the later part of October. 8 to 14, not much to change, keeping with the below normal temperatures. And as far as precipitation, going to be continuing to see the above normal chances continuing for much of the continental U.S. As we get towards the later part of October. In summer this morning, due to those above normal temperatures, so warm and dry conditions are going to continue through Thursday. We'll see some slight chances of some winds as far as getting into Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend as our next system approaches, with confidence increasing for a significant pattern change, bringing some cooler weather, widespread precipitation, and some breezy winds. But there is the weather briefing for today, Tuesday, October 18th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out this information on our website. Have an awesome day.